Hello everyone, welcome back to 3-Minute Biographies. I want you to consider the missionaries that your church supports. What type of people are they? What are the expectations of communication from them? And what are the expectations of ministry form from them as well? Today we're looking at the life of Amy Carmichael, and let me explain some of the things she did and wrote, and you can determine if your church would support her ministry. Just a quick mention of the book where this information comes from, 50 People Every Christian Should Know. Amy Carmichael spent nearly 60 years on the mission field and for a long period never came home or reported back to her supporting churches. She went on to the mission field under the authority of one board, but pretty much did her own thing and eventually started her own mission organisation. She went to the field to carry out one type of work, but after a few years was doing something completely different, which often got her in trouble with the law. She did not ask for financial support, but saw every need met right on time. And when people offered financial support, she would suggest maybe that they could support a different mission. It's my guess that the average church mission committee would not support someone like Amy today. And perhaps she wouldn't even be endorsed to go overseas to a mission field by any mission organisation. Amy Carmichael was born December 16th, 1867 in Northern Ireland, and she grew up in a Christian home, and her father worked and owned a flour mill. In 1883, she trusted Jesus with her salvation, and the first test of her faith would come when her father died just 2 years later. But despite this setback, there are a number of positive events that impressed on Amy the need for complete devotion and service to her Lord. She was invited to attend a conference in Glasgow in 1886, and it was the closing prayer of one of the speakers that got through to Amy. He was paraphrasing Jude 1:24, "O Lord, we know that thou art able to keep us from falling." On January 13th, 1892 came her call to mission work. Through her quiet time with the Lord, he called her to a life of mission and to be directed by God as he saw fit. In 1893, she left Ireland for Japan and ministered there for a few short months, but serious illness saw her sent to China for rest, but then on to Ceylon, or Sri Lanka as it's known today. By the end of 1894, she was back in England, but 1 year later she headed off to India, where she stayed until her death in 1951. She worked with a mission agency there, but saw little results in the way of conversions and even interactions with the locals. That was until something dramatic changed her life. In March 1901, a 7-year-old girl fled from one of the local temples and into the mission compound and begged for safety. It was this that uncovered one of the darkest secrets of India at the time. Mothers and fathers would sell their girls to the temple gods, little g, to be temple prostitutes. And so Amy started praying against this practice, and by the end of 1904, there were 17 girls under her care. She also started a home for boys who were also sold to local temples. In her later years, Amy suffered 2 falls, the second leaving her bedridden. And in this time, she wrote many books and letters and prayed fervently for India. She died in India in 1951, and Amy was an unpredictable person, but not unblessable. God blessed her devotion and willingness to trust him with every moment of her day and her complete life. So how do we go with trusting God with every single moment of our day?